Everybody for coming here today. We're gathering together as a group of activists, a group of advocates who realize that if we don't speak up, if we don't speak out, nobody else will. If we are not our own advocates, nobody will advocate for us. Evil does not just show up out of nowhere. It waits for its victims to be complacent, and that's when evil attacks. But how are we complacent? By being obviously Jewish, by wearing a Magen David or wearing an IDF sweatshirt? Is that being complacent by being who we are in public spaces? Is that a crime enough for us to be so obviously Jewish that will allow our attackers to do what they do, just like they did to Joey? We're here saying that Joey Borgen deserves justice. Justice for Joey Borgen. If his victimizers get a sweetheart deal of 6 months in jail for beating somebody up for no other reason other than being Jewish, what does that say? Do we have to play whataboutism and say, what about if it was a different person, a different race, maybe a different gender? Would it have been different? That doesn't even matter. The fact that somebody was attacked for being who he is a horrible and un-American thing. As an American citizen born in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, I can say that I'm a very disappointed American. We cannot only have Jews showing up to our events here. We need our allies, just like every other civil rights and social justice movement, bringing people together, no matter if they are Jewish or non-Jewish, no matter their race, no matter their gender, no matter their nationality. We have multiple organizations here, along with the End Jew Hatred movement, like one of my favorites, Yad Yamin, who fights back, who takes power in their own hands. That is what we're doing. We cannot be weak Jews trembling in the shadows. We need to flex our muscles. And you know what? Yes, there are many Jews in positions of power. Does that mean we control the government? No. Does it mean we control the media?
No.
No. We just happen to be there a lot. So let's use our power. Let's use our strength and create the change that we need for us. We must be our own advocates. So my name is Yuval David. I'm the director of mobilization for the End Jew Hatred movement. My job is to make sure that I don't need to have this job, that I don't need to do what I do, because all of you will do the same exact thing and do it better than me. I want to be here together with you always, and I'm just empowered by each of you being here. Together, we will end Jew hatred. We are one people, but we are a strong people. Let us use our strength together. Thank you so much, everybody.
Question.
Yes.
What is the federal government doing in regards to your telling them to prosecute this as a hate crime?
I will introduce Gerard Filitti, who is going to speak very, very well about that and take those questions. Thank you, everybody. Gerard.
Thank you, Yuval. Well, thank you all for coming out this morning on a cold, blustery day. We need justice for Joey Borgen. We need justice for the Jewish community. We need justice and protection from hate crimes that have escalated like nothing before in the history of New York City. It's outrageous that these people are getting plea deals that are more lenient than jail sentences for someone who attacks an animal in other states. What does it tell us about our district attorney when these people are given plea deals instead of incarceration? A society that's lenient and permissive to Jew haters, to people who commit hate crimes, is not a society that's safe for Jews or for any other minority group. Because what starts and happens to Jews happens to everyone else next. We've seen this throughout history, and we've seen this in New York City. We see an increase in hate crimes against other minority groups as well, and nothing is being done about it. This isn't just about, we're here today about a plea deal that's going to be offered in this courtroom to one of the defendants. But you know what? There's another defendant in there who, when he was arrested for attacking 3 people. 2 of those cases have disappeared. We don't know what happened to them. We don't know what happened to the charges. We don't know if a deal was cut, if he was never charged, if charges were dismissed. We need accountability from our elected officials. We need accountability and answers from District Attorney Bragg on what happens when someone attacks Jews in a hate crime in New York City. Because a 6-month plea deal for an attack that should carry at least 3.5 years in prison is a joke. And when 2 other attacks are not being prosecuted, we have to ask why. This isn't a matter of a quality of life crime. This isn't a graffiti that's written somewhere. This is not some kid smoking a joint. We're talking about one of the most heinous crimes. We punish hate crimes more than other crimes because of the effect that they have on society. They destroy society. They tear us apart, which is why we need answers and we need consequences. And what I'm proud to see here today is people standing up in solidarity with the Jewish community, people standing up in solidarity with Joey Borgen, with other people who have been viciously attacked in hate crimes, and demanding justice. Every other group has done this. If you are African American, Asian American, Latino, you know what this means. You have to stand up and demand justice, and demand that your civil rights are protected, and demand accountability from elected officials who do nothing. It's time to do this for the Jewish people. This is why the End Jew Hatred movement is important. This is why, as a lawyer with the Lawfare Project, I come and stand with the End Jew Hatred movement. This is why we have people from organizations like Yad Yamin, the World Jewish Congress, Emunah. We have so many people from organizations, and even without organizations, individuals, activists, people who give a damn, who show up to demand justice. So I thank all of you for being here. I thank all of you for carrying this message. I encourage you to go on the www.justiceforjoey.org website, sign the petition, demand that Governor Hochul open an investigation into the dereliction of duty by DA Bragg in the plea deals that he's making, demand that she investigate whether he is failing to uphold the civil rights of New Yorkers, especially the Jewish community, and impose consequences not just on him, but on the people who attack Jews, who tear apart the fabric of our society, because we will not tolerate this anymore. We are united, we are strong, our voices are growing, and we need to be heard. Justice for Joey Borgen and justice for the Jewish community. Thank you all for coming out this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got a question there?
Yeah, question.
What was the website, Justice for Joey?
That they're only offering appeals to one defendant because he had a more minor role in the attack, and that the other defendants are getting at least 3.5 years, but they didn't have enough evidence against this one defendant. What's your response?
I say that all New Yorkers have watched videotape of this defendant viciously beating Joey Borgen. This was not someone passing by in anger. He targeted someone because of their identity, which is more heinous than a crime in passing. Video shows that he beat this person, beat Joey repeatedly. This is not a minor incident. This is a hate crime. 6 months because he had less of a role in a gang attack. Under law, everyone engaged in that is equally culpable. You do not be cutting deals with one or the other. And the other part is, we don't know, quite frankly, whether a deal will be cut with other defendants. We don't know whether these will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. We know that a deal is being offered today to one defendant, and we need to be vigilant on what's happening to all the other defendants as well.
This is a federal hate crime, and it should be prosecuted as such. What, if anything, are you doing to pursue federal intervention? Because this is separate and aside from New York State law.
That's a good question. There are 2 things. First of all, I represent Matt Greenman, another individual who was attacked for being Jewish. The DOJ took his case. They prosecuted that attacker, and he pled guilty to a conspiracy to commit hate crimes charge in November and will be sentenced in March. Serious penalties, not a 6-month plea deal. We need the DOJ to step in when the district attorney's office fails. So that is one thing we can all do, is ask the Department of Justice, ask Attorney General Garland to step in and help enforce the civil rights of the Jewish community here in New York, because our authorities are doing a bad job at it. I have to give credit to the police department. They're doing their best. They're investigating everything as best as they can, thoroughly and fairly, but it's the DA's office that's not pursuing charges. It's the DA's office that's not making these deals. The federal government should be more involved. We have this is an issue of civil rights of the Jewish people, and as we have seen, they can and they will do it. We need them to do it more. Let me introduce former Assemblyman Duff Heiken. I think we all know him, and we all grateful for him.
Okay. You know, Joey Borgen is being re-victimized by the DA here in Manhattan. We all saw the video. We saw what happened to Joey Borgen. Joey Borgen, a New Yorker, innocent individual walking the streets of New York, and everyone has a right to walk the streets and not be assaulted. And the only reason this group of Jew haters attacked Joey Borgen, they didn't know Joey Borgen. They never saw him in their entire life. But he was wearing a yarmulke. He was a Jew. And that's why they went after him. And they beat the daylights out of him. Wasim, who's being offered this deal, had metal crutches in his hands and was beating him as he was on the floor. And I ask everyone, every New Yorker, to pretend that Joey Borgen is your relative, your family member, your son, your father, your grandfather. Because what happened to Joey Borgen can happen to any New Yorker, and it is happening. Attacks upon the Jewish people. I mean, I was in the assembly for 36 years. I've been involved all my life in terms of standing up for the Jewish people. I have never witnessed what I am witnessing the last 4 years. And the numbers continue to get worse. The numbers are out of control. In the month of November, police department numbers, there were 3 times as many attacks upon innocent Jews in the streets of New York than all the other protected groups put together. LGBT, Asian, Black, Latino, on and on. 3 times as many attacks upon the Jewish people. So what does the DA, what does Bragg do? He should be ashamed of himself. His job is not to protect the criminal, and that's his main role. His pity, his rachmanis, the Hebrew word pity, is for the victimizer, for the criminal, for the perpetrator, not for the innocent New Yorker. That's not his role. He wants to protect the bad guy. He should not be in office. He's got the wrong freaking job. He's got the wrong job. He should take a look at the title of his position and what his role should be. At the very least, to protect New Yorkers. When they attack Joey as a Jew, a hate crime. You know, an assault is a serious thing. You assault somebody, serious. But we in the legislature passed laws, hate crime laws, that when you attack someone because they are a Jew or because of other, because they're Black or because they're Asian. We were, in the legislature, we were tough. We said the penalties will be much tougher. Bullshit! Excuse the expression, I'm sorry. But that is such crap. It is such a farce. It is such an insult to New Yorkers. I mean, Joey Borgen, beaten. I mean, by the way, Joey Borgen may have recovered physically, but I'm telling you, he will never recover in terms of what happened to him. When he puts his head on the pillow, when he remembers being on that floor. You saw Joey. You all know what happened to him. You saw him after he got up, surrounded by the police. He will be a victim forever, especially if those who attacked him don't pay a price. What kind of message is that for anti-Semites? That you can attack the Jewish people and there are no consequences? And by the way, that is actually the case in almost all the situations. And the people who attacked him actually said after they were arrested, I would do it again. I would do it again. The DA in court, when they were arraigned, actually used that against these Jew haters. This is unbelievable. They attacked Joey. You Jew. You dirty Jew. That's what they said to him. So these are the consequences? What a farce. What a joke. All of you here, thank you for being here. And we need to be tough. We need to be strong and not afraid. And let me tell you where I want to go. I want to go to the DA's house where he lives.
Yes.
That's where we should go. We should let his neighbors know what kind of creep he is. That he is for the criminal, not for the average New Yorker who wants to be able to walk the streets. So I am looking forward to visiting Bragg at home.
Let's go to the
I want
governor.
him to feel what a creep he is, and I want his neighbors to know who Bragg is.
The governor has
Shame on him, everybody. Shame on him. Shame on Bragg. Shame on Bragg. Come on, everybody.
Shame on Bragg!
Shame on Bragg. 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 Everybody, let's continue to stand up and fight. And, someone here mentioned something very interesting. Again, we're waiting for some other people. But attacks upon Jews, this is just a fact, are not treated the same way as attacks upon other groups. Only imagine, by the way, that if some guys from Crown Heights, some Lubavitch Hasidim, some guys who are identifiably Jewish, imagine if they attacked someone in the black community. Just imagine. One case. Not hundreds of cases, but one case. 2 cases. Could you imagine the outrage? Could you imagine the discussions that would be going on television, on CNN, MSNBC? 2 cases, 3 cases. And there have been hundreds and hundreds of cases of attacks upon Jews. Each case. I may talk about the numbers, the statistics, but there are real victims, D.A. Bragg, real victims. And you're not going to feel the pain until you get the hell beaten out of you. Maybe then you'll understand what this is all about. What a shame. How pathetic. 95% of all attacks upon Jews, these are the facts from Americans Against Anti-Semitism, the study that we just completed, 95% of all attacks upon Jews are on those identifiably Jewish. And they are happening, basically, 90% of them in 4 Jewish neighborhoods. 4 Jewish neighborhoods, 90% of the attacks.
They're hunting us.
So, we're proud. We're part of the Jewish people, the best club in the world. Okay? And D.A. Bragg, we're coming home to your home. Just wait.
Justice for the
Thank you.
Jews.
Good job.
Justice for
Jewish
the
blood is
Jews.
not cheap.
Justice for
Jewish
the
blood is
Jews.
not cheap.
So now Lizzie Savetsky.
Hi, I'm Lizzie Savetsky. Thank you so much. Wow, I'm so grateful to see this turnout. Joey, I would like to, can you come here, please? I won't say anything too sensitive, but guys, this young man right here, he's not just a victim, but he is a hero.
No.
Yes, because Joey is here wearing his yarmulke today. This is the same yarmulke that Joey was wearing when he...
Yeah, different yarmulke. but-
Different yarmulke.
Just want to, because it's all on the record. We gotta make sure.
Joey was wearing a yarmulke when he was physically assaulted, viciously beaten, screamed at, slurs, anti-Semitic slurs, and some people would have been too afraid to get up and to walk through the streets of New York and proudly wear their yarmulke, but not this guy. And I look at Joey Borgen as the role model that I want my children to have, because we cannot run away from our identity. Holocaust Remembrance Day is tomorrow, and it's a painful reminder that we need to think about that the Nazis didn't care if you wore a yarmulke or not. They would take you to the gas chamber whether or not you had a yarmulke on your head. So we have to stand strong and be proud, because that is our victory over what these attackers did. And we stand with you, Joey. We are in solidarity with you, and we will not stand by and tolerate while these attackers are let off the hook, given sweetheart plea deals. Because Jewish blood is not cheap. And we are not going anywhere. And Joey, thank you for setting such a beautiful example.
Justice for Joey!
Justice for Joey! Justice for Joey! Justice for Joey! Justice for Joey! Justice for Joey!
Justice for Joey!
Justice for Joey!
And now we have Mindy Stein from the American
Okay, I'm
Zionist.
from the American Zionist Movement. I'm their vice president. And like we all said, we're here to demand justice for Joey.
That's for us.
And for us, who was brutally attacked for no other reason than the fact that he was a Jew wearing a kippah. Joey had to be hospitalized as he lay unconscious, swollen, and battered after he was seriously injured by attackers who tried to kill him as they yelled, "You dirty Jew! F Israel! And Hamas is going to kill all of you." Yet now, a year and a half later, District Attorney Bragg is offering one of these violent criminals who will be in court today in this building a 6-month plea deal, even though this Jew-hater criminal can be seen on the surveillance video using a metal crutch, as Representative Heiken has said, to beat Joey. And even though this criminal said at his arraignment that he would do it again if he could. Think about it. Only 6 months in prison for trying to kill a Jew. What a travesty of justice!
Yes.
We demand justice!
That's right.
Say it! We demand justice!
We demand justice! We demand justice! We demand justice! We demand justice!
Joey Borgen is certainly entitled to justice, and we are here for him. But we are also here today for all Jews. We live in a time of increased anti-Semitism and an increasing number of physical attacks against Jews, as we see from all the data reported. Everyone wonders what we can do about this. While I certainly do not have all the answers, I do know this. If criminals know that they can attack Jews and that they do not have to worry about serious punishment, the attacks on Jews will only increase. We demand justice!
We demand justice! We demand justice!
We demand justice.
That is why we are here today. Not only do we seek justice for Joey, we want to show the world that Jewish blood is not cheap. I urge you all to contact Governor Hochul, your state senators, and your assemblymen to let them know that we will not tolerate plea bargains such as the one being offered to Joey's attackers, which amount to a slap on the wrist. Those who attack Jews and others must be punished to the full extent that the law allows. We want our children and our grandchildren to be able to walk the streets of New York without being attacked and without being afraid if they're wearing a kippah or a Jewish star or Hebrew words on their chests. We demand justice.
We demand justice!
We demand justice.
We demand justice!
Finally, while the decision to offer the plea deal was made by Manhattan District Attorney Bragg, the ultimate responsibility lies with Governor Hochul. District Attorney Bragg serves at the governor's pleasure, and she has the right to fire him. The governor can force District Attorney Bragg to enforce the law and make the streets of New York safer for Jews and everyone else, and to set a positive example for district attorneys throughout the country. I urge you to Google the governor's contact information and to contact her to make your feelings known. And please ask your friends and your relatives who are not able to come this morning to contact her as well. I just did this yesterday again, and I pushed the agent that got on the phone to say, yeah, he'll tell you, write something, and you should write something on the website, but make it a point that you want her to know, not 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now when she'll answer your email, but now that you are not going to allow this injustice to take place. Thank you to Brooke Goldstein and End Jew Hatred for coordinating this rally, and those who came today to rally against the injustice. We thank you all for standing up and not being silent This is an important time for Jews in this country.
And
Thank
Jew
you.
hatred.
End Jew hatred! 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 End Jew hatred!
She has to, okay. She's from Israel and she wants to say something.
Oh, can I just say something?
Of course.
definitely.
I just came here today. I'm on my way back to Israel tonight. I'm American. I was born here in Brooklyn. I lived 30 years in Israel. My husband is a brigadier general. My 4 children are serving in elite combat units today. Thank you for being here today because
Yisrael Chai! Yisrael Chai!
we serve our country there, and you're serving our people here, and we need more strong people like you to be here today to spread the word of Jew hatred. We feel it every day in Israel, but we're proud and strong, and nobody is gonna lead us into the sea or any place else. We are here, please. And today is Holocaust, tomorrow is Holocaust Memorial Day. My 97-year-old mother-in-law with a number living in the kibbutz in Israel, proud of her family and proud of all that we are as a Jewish people. We need to stay strong and teach our children to be supporters of the Jewish people. Thank you. Am Yisrael Chai.
Am Yisrael Chai! Am Yisrael Chai! Am Yisrael Chai!
Am Yisrael Chai! Am Yisrael Chai!
I'm Israel Chai!
Okay, I also have Stephen Fink, Joey Borgen's attorney. Would like to say some
Joey,
words.
Joey, please.
Joey.
Oh man, I thought you wanted to speak.
No, it's okay. Go first. They're here for you.
Hey, yeah. So I got to be brief and careful about what I say, because with all the legal proceedings and everything going on. But obviously, I just want to thank everyone that came out today and is supporting me here, or in spirit, social media, whatever it may be. It really means the world to me, as someone who's fighting not just for myself, but for all the Jewish people, and for all victims of hate crimes, really, in a sense, because it happened to me. It shouldn't happen to anyone. You shouldn't be afraid to leave your house or your apartment or your residence and have to look over your shoulder based upon what you believe in or how you look or your appearance. And hopefully, with fighting for some justice, we can, get a positive resolution and send a positive message moving forward. And thank you, everybody. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is Joey. This is Joey's father. How you doing? We filed a civil lawsuit on behalf of Joey, and as I said before, we did this to bring justice for Joey, bring justice for all Jewish people, bring justice for anyone who experiences anti-Semitism, for anyone who experiences racism. All of this hatred must stop. It must stop here. It must stop now. No more of this hate mongering against anyone, Jews and non-Jews alike. We all stand together, and together we can defeat this hate mongering. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Borgen would like to
Can I
speak.
just say a quick statement? I want to thank everybody for coming out here today, supporting my son. But where is Chuck Schumer, our famous senator? Where is Chuck Schumer? He must be somewhere in Washington busy with nonsense. Where's our Mayor Adams? Nothing, says nothing. Where's Hochul? Says nothing.
Exactly.
Until our politicians step up and vote these people out of office, nothing's going to change here in New York.
Exactly.
It's a disgrace that Chuck Schumer, the showman of the Jewish people, hasn't said a word from day one of the incident. I called his office in Washington, and we'll look into it. It's ridiculous. I want to say thank everybody for coming. If the politicians don't get involved, the local politicians, unfortunately, New York City is doomed. That's what I have to say.
What's your name, sir?
Barry Borgen.
And
Joey's
what about DA Bragg?
Bragg is. I can't say what brag is in the presence here of everybody. I can't say what I think of it.
Bragg must go.
Thank you.
Bragg must go. Bragg must go. Bragg must go.
Bragg must go!
Bragg must go.
Bragg must go!
Bragg is a piece of trash. You can quote me on that. Piece of trash. You can quote me on that.
Sorry. So, folks, we're waiting to hear from Council Member Vernikov, who should be here in a minute or two. We're unfortunately, with the weather last night, quite a few people were running late or not able to make it. In the meantime, I have.
Yeah, we do have one.
Hey, she runs for council. She's running for city council. You want to speak?
Ina asked if I could speak.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, I got you.
For those of you who don't know, my name is Annabelle Fiore Delfaus. I am running for city council in Brooklyn, District 47. I am not a Jew. I am a Catholic. However, if we look, thank you for having me, Annabelle Fiore Delfaus. If we look around at each other, there's a common denominator here. We're all New Yorkers. And anybody who issues an attack against another New Yorker should automatically be labeled a terrorist, because we need to live together in this city in order to make this city progress. And what has been happening to so many people targeted because of a symbol for what they stand and believe in is absolute nonsense. Maybe it's an insecurity on their part. Maybe they don't understand. But when maybe they're jealous. But when you live without structure in your life, you look and choose to create chaos in everybody else's life. And it's not fair. And what I implore people to do is to stop and think. We have to be a unit. We need to work together because New York is falling apart. And for no reason. We need to look for structure, and we need to look to each other and understand that we need each other to thrive as a society. So we need to, from this moment on, really band together and get the politicians and the DAs to listen to what is happening. Because there can't be any more attacks against anybody based on something that they believe in. Thank you for listening to me.
What are you running for?
City Council in District 47.
From Brooklyn?
Yes. Yes.
And we have a statement from Debbie Bienenfeld, the national president of Amuna of America. Amuna of America calls for justice for all people, and we will speak up against hate crimes. We will pursue justice for Joey and all others who have been victims of racial and religious hate. All those who commit hate crimes must be punished to the fullest extent of the law. And we are waiting on Councilwoman Ina Vernikov. Will be here shortly. She'd like to say some words.
And in the meantime, we have two college fellows. Well, we have the End You Hate Movement started a college fellow program this year because we need the people to get more involved in the college space. We need to instill more support for our students. This is Yehuda Chan. He started the I can't speak this morning. Campus Fellow Program for the End You Hate Movement. He has been terrific at getting students across different universities involved in helping support causes like this to fight for justice for the Jewish people. Yehuda?
Thank you everyone for coming. First of all, seriously, thank you very much. My name is Yehuda Gian, and as George just said, I started the Campus Fellowship for End You Hatred. We do have a couple of students here with us today, and I'm very proud of that. Yeah. And I just want to say that this type of thing is not new to our community. We've gone through this for far too long. And 2,000 years, give or take. And especially on college campuses, college students have to deal with a whole range of things, whether it's a vicious attack like what Joey has gone through, or verbal abuse, professors lowering their grades just because they wear a kippah in class. Wow, I didn't know that. And every time we gather together like this, every time we show up in support of our fellow Jews, We support every Jew who's gone through something, even the ones that don't make it to court, the ones that maybe are too scared to report. So thank you very much for being the community that stands behind every single Jew in America and around the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for waiting. We have with us today Councilmember Ida Vernikov, who has been a leading voice fighting for the Jewish community.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Unfortunately, we have to do this every week now. Last week we were in Brooklyn outside the courthouse standing together with Blake Zavatsky, who's a victim of anti-Semitic crime. Today we're here for Joey Borgen. I don't know what's going to happen next week. This is an everyday occurrence now. A Jew is getting beaten, is getting assaulted. Almost every other day we hear something going on. This is New York City. What the hell is happening here? And I think that what's happening is that we have very, very bad leadership. So we have in Manhattan here, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, who from day one issued a memorandum saying that we're going to downgrade serious crimes to misdemeanors. So if you do something really bad, it's okay, no problem. You're going to go home. Or you're going to maybe if you do something really bad, maybe you'll do a month in jail. This is so unacceptable. This is a guy who sits a couple of blocks from here in his cozy office, and at the stroke of a pen, he sends this city to hell. He sends the victims of anti-Semitic hate crimes, of all crimes, to hell, while our taxpayer dollars are paying for his security. This is what's going on. And so it is his policies that are causing this. It's his policies that are creating this free reign for criminals in our city. And what happens when we have free reign for criminals? Who goes first? The Jews. And that's why we're standing here with Joey Borgen today, who got viciously beaten. Where's Joey? Viciously beaten by an anti-Semite, by a gang of anti-Semites. And the one who's getting the sweetheart plea deal, 6 months, said that he'll gladly do it again. If you guys see the picture, look at what happened to him. 6 months is only an offer in jail. He's not doing 6 months. Let's be real. What happens to these people who get a plea deal of 6 months in jail? They do maybe 1 month or they go home. And this can actually happen. If he takes this offer today, at sentencing, the judge can send him home. And so we're here to say no more. We will not stay silent. No justice, no silence. So thank you all for coming here today. We're hoping that the right thing will happen here, but it looks like it's not. So we're going to be here standing and being loud until justice is served for the Jewish community. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Karen.